what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to some more Seven Kingdoms mods for Attila Total War. Today we have an epic engagement between Stannis Baratheon and Renly Baratheon. So this is the Clash of the Stags. I am playing as Stannis Baratheon over on this flank. Stannis has kind of landed his troops, even though you can't really even see the sea over here because it's that kind of foggy and rainy. It's going to be a brutal battle for sure. But yes, I'm playing as Stannis Baratheon over on this corner, and then my enemy, Pixelated Apollo, is playing as Renly Baratheon over here, commanding the troops. So this is kind of like, you know, what if the Devil Baby never killed Renly and Stannis actually landed his troops and fought Renly in the pitch battle. We tried to create kind of an even scenario where it'd be still a competitive match, but we tried to give Renly as many extra men as possible. So if we look at the unit count quickly, I have around 3,900 men and Apollo has around 4,600 men. So he has a good like 700 man advantage. Obviously these numbers aren't correct to what it was in real life, or if these armies are even, you know, similar to what they had. But we tried to create kind of a variance that, you know, Stannis was heavily outnumbered, but there's still a chance he can win this battle. You know, the troops are still very even. You know, I spent my extra money on upgrading my troops, whereas Apollo kind of got more mass rather than anything else. So yeah, I'm going to be a bit more defensive as well in this battle. But yeah, let's run through the army comps real quickly, see what the units look like, and then we'll jump straight into this epic battle as Stannis tries to defeat his brother. You know, this is going to be a brutal battle as well, because even if Stannis wins here, he's going to lose loads of men. It's going to be very hard for him to take on the armies of Lannisters to, you know, reclaim his rightful place on the throne. So it's going to be a brutal battle for sure. But yeah, so on my front line, I have, you know, a bunch of these Dragonstone heavy swordsmen. They are going to be guarding my front line. And then in the rear, I also have another secondary line of heavy Dragonstone swordsmen back here. You can hear the archer fire starting off as we skirmish with Renly's troops. On my front line with my archers, I have 4 units of these Dragonstone longmen. They're going to be going toe-to-toe with the Baratheon archers. Then on my right flank, I have 2 units of Dragonstone heavy spearmen. We are not messing around with our troops. No light troops. All about the heavies, because we're going to need them, because we're going to get outflanked very easily. As I said, Apollo has 700 more men than me. It's going to be brutal. Then back here, I have 2 units of Dragonstone heavy cavalry. I have Stannis right here in the center of the line, and he's going to be getting his hands dirty for sure. I have 2 more units of heavy spearmen over on this flank. They're going to be defending that flank pretty well. Then I have two more units of cavalry up on this hill. Hopefully going to pounce the trap. Then if we look at Apollo's infantry, we have some Baratheon longbowmen going toe-to-toe with my longbowmen right now. Then behind that, Apollo has 4 or 5 units of these light swordsmen. He's going to be using these guys to kind of harass my archers and push them back whilst his archers are still firing. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, the Dragonstone men haven't been updated yet to actually have like light infantry and medium infantry. So at the moment, actually no, they do have light infantry, I lied, but they don't have medium infantry. So yeah, he has like 4 or 5 of these light infantry. Then behind that, he has the Baratheon heavy infantry, which again looks sick. I love their shields are mixed with the reach and like kind of a reach green, you know, showing the garden stag. Then so that's his main line of just these guys. You can see them marching along. Then he has on this right flank, he has 2 more units of medium infantry. He has 2 units of heavy spearmen, 2 more units of cavalry, or 3 more units of horses. So yeah, Renly has a ton of horses in this battle, like a ton of horses. Then he has 4 more units of medium infantry, 2 more units of heavy spears, and then another 3 or 4 units of heavy cavalry. And then he has 2 units of light cavalry. So yeah, Apollo has so many more like units than me. It's just my units are a bit better, which is pretty crazy. Also, if you enjoy this weather, make sure to drop a like and a comment. I'm really trying to experiment in these battles with all these different like kind of weather scenarios, like fog, rain, sandstorms that you saw in the Crusading battle I did the other day. You know, these really cool like scenarios which kind of just lighten up the battle a bit. So let me know in the comments if you enjoy this. Also, if you enjoy this scenario, make sure to drop a like and a comment. It just really helps out the channel, get the videos out there. It's really helpful, and I do appreciate it. So yeah, let's get into this battle. Apollo's going to be charging up his light infantry first, just to kind of warn off my archers, but I feel like he's actually going to run these away, if I remember correctly, and let his heavy infantry really get into the fight. And again, let's just take a zoom out. You can barely see the lines, which is just awesome. You know, this is going to be a brutal battle. So yeah, he's going to pull back his light infantry behind his main infantry line and let his heavy infantry really do the work. So let's zoom in and watch these units clash. Oh, this is going to be awesome, just watching the battle line. And there we go. The units, the armies have clashed now. The front lines are going to be going at it heavily. Like, this is going to be a brutal battle indeed for either side. We also didn't put in a reach in this battle just because we didn't really have another player. But I'm pretty sure in, Season 2? I'm pretty sure the reach weren't, like, there in an army. At least we didn't see any of the reach, really. From what I remember, at least. Yeah, I believe the reach were. Because obviously, Loras was there, and so was Marjorie. So they probably would have had, like, a household guard there or something. But I don't think the reach army was there to protect them. Or was to fight with Renly. But maybe they were turning up, maybe they were, maybe that's my mistake. So the engagement is going to be going on all the flanks now. So I'm going to throw my cavalry out on this right flank. Stannis is going to give a command to try his best to throw over here. But the skirmisher cav from Apollo is insane. I really feel like it needs to get nerfed. Look at that. It annihilates pretty much an entire unit of heavy cavalry in like a couple volleys and runs away. Like, that was brutal, especially considering how outnumbered I am. It is literally annihilated an entire unit of my heavy cavalry, which is insane. So I'm going to fall back from there because Apollo has his own heavy cavalry, his Baratheon horses chasing me down. So I'm going to fall out. But that was an awful engagement for me. I lost about I lost an entire unit of horses and a bit of the other one. So that was a brutal engagement for me. Like, that was just so painful. And when Stannis was that outnumbered, it's just, it's not good for us whatsoever. We needed, a better engagement there with our cavalry. We had to pick out, like, a much better engagement for us with our horses because we don't have as many as Apollo does. Apollo has, like, I think 7 or 8 units, not including his general, not including Renly. So, and we only have around about 4 or 5. So we needed to use our cavalry more effectively there. Now that was mainly because we just haven't really messed around with light cavalry before, so we didn't know how strong they were, and they were just ridiculously OP. I do understand how they want to try and make the archers like really strong in this, because in the show, archers murder everything you see on screen. Like archers would be an extremely potent force. There's a reason why the English longbow was so dominant, and it just made that England really, really strong. Archers are an insane force. There's something like that then, like cavalry, just harassing and then running away with no real counterpart to it because they're super fast. It's just ridiculous, and hopefully that'll get sorted in the next patch. So the heavy infantry line is going at it. I do have reserves, which is kind of nice, which I'm going to be deploying where I see fit. As well as that, a gap has actually been created in this line. I think Apollo only had light infantry here, so I've kind of seized this opportunity and just thrown some heavy infantry around. And this is going to allow me to get a really nice charge on the rear of Apollo's Baratheon swordsmen, which are already starting to get cut down by my heavy Dragonstone infantry, which are really, really good. Apollo is going to try and kind of counter this with some of his light infantry. But again, if I can just keep on pouring men through, which I'm going to be doing, charging into the rear of these Baratheon soldiers, and then kind of resupply here. You can see, oh, look how sick that looks. Look how sick that looks with them just marching up. That looks amazing. They're going to be charging into this light infantry and kind of stopping my unit from getting outflanked. And I'm hoping this will kind of free up this unit just to cut down these troops, because I need to be winning on this front line. Like, I need to be winning. Because Apollo is definitely going to be winning on the flanks because he has so many more men just to constantly send round, which is going to be brutal for me. Like, you can see how thin my lines are compared to Apollo's meaty lines. So we'll take a glimpse of this left flank for me. It's, it's going to be brutal and hard fought. My men are going to be pressed up against it, but they are fighting for the one true king. What more can they ask for? But yeah, you can see how thin my lines are. The fighting's even broke out over here. It's just a complete bloodfest. There's no real defined lines. The horses are just going toe to toe as well. You can see my Dragonstone Knights up against the Baratheon Knights. Please let me know in the comments as well down below what type of scenarios you want to see going forward. I've still got another episode of the North fighting the Ironborn. I've still got one more episode of that left to show you guys, but still, after that, I'll be kind of looking for new scenarios to kind of pull out. We've done Stannis versus Renly. Maybe when we can get like someone else on the mod, we can have Stannis, Renly, and the Reach all in one big battle. That would be pretty cool. Maybe give like Stannis a 40 stack and maybe give Renly like 20 troops and maybe 25 troops and the Reach 25 troops. So they have like a considerable large amount more. Maybe that would be pretty cool. Oh, look how sick that looks. Again, look at that. It's the distance of the troops fighting. That looks awesome. Huge engagement right there. You can see the battle line just stretching off into the mist. Very, very cool. Let's try and just get some really nice shots here. You can even see the Baratheon men just overwhelming me. Luckily, over here, I have poured enough men in the center to really be causing an issue for Apollo. You know, he can only really plug the gap with light infantry because all his heavy and medium infantry are around the flank. And my men have quite a bit of experience on them, so they're going to be a lot more sturdy in this combat. If we take another glimpse of this, you can see I've actually managed to break him completely if we press K. And again, see the awesome looking like flags. It's a bit hard to see, you know, because we're fighting two Baratheons, which kind of have the similar colors. Renly's going to come in for an epic charge here. Let's watch this close up. Going to be smashing into this unit of Dragonstone heavy infantry. But yeah, as you can see, I've managed to actually smash Apollo pretty much on this central line, and also have one unit in reserve. Because Apollo had been using his cavalry, which I kind of missed out on because I was looking at the other flank. But Apollo brought his cavalry around this flank, and he was harassing into the back of my lines. I've managed to deal with it. Stannis himself is fighting against the heavy Baratheon infantry, or I guess heavy Baratheon cavalry. But yeah, I was using this unit of horses, this unit of infantry right here, just to protect my flanks, to stop any rear charges from going on. And also, I should mention, they have actually updated the cavalry, so they're a lot more potent in battle, because in this battle, Apollo really should have won just because he had so much more cavalry. He managed to slaughter my cavalry on the right flank, so that really should have like spelled victory straight away for him. But instead of that, it's a much more long drawn out battle where he could either win or not win, and like it should kind of be a bit more one-sided, because you know Apollo smashed my cavalry on this flank, and he should be able to use that to to rout a lot of my men unless I protected them like I did. So it would have been much harder for him. But say in a mod like Medieval Kingdoms, the battle would have just been over there and then, which is something I kind of like, that the cavalry is not as OP as that. You know, the heavy infantry, really play a part in this mod, which is awesome. But yeah, as you can see, I have just, surrounded the rest of Apollo's cavalry on this flank, and I've kind of almost dealt with it pretty effectively. I've used my infantry, which have smashed his infantry, and I'm sending, kind of splitting my army in two to the flanks. I'm sending half my force over to this left flank to resupply it, because you can see my numbers are really, really small. I have a decent unit of Dragonstone heavy infantry, but everything else is really, really depleted. And Apollo still has a lot of cavalry over here as well. But they are getting chopped down. I think Renly's going to come over here as well and do some charges as I charge into the flanks. But again, I just kind of want to get in here. But yeah, here we go. Another cavalry charge right here. I'm on 90 men in this unit. Cavalry charge is going to come in and surround this unit. Again, not really killing too many men. I really like that. I feel like they should do a decent amount of damage on the charge. Yeah, they didn't actually kill anyone on the charge, which is pretty crazy. I feel like they should kill a decent amount of men on the charge, but then after once they get slowed down in melee combat, then they should start getting cut down. And hopefully they kind of get that across, which I feel like they have in the new patch, which I will be showing you guys later on in the week, which you guys can look forward to. Yeah, Stannis himself is doing hammer and anvils over here. I've poured over all my infantry. As I said, I've split up my flank. I've sent half over here and half over here because I want to try and win on both flanks. Obviously, on this right flank, I stand more of a chance because I have more infantry here. And I've got Stannis over here, so a fresh unit of cavalry which can go ahead and do hammer and anvil. I also have two units over there in the center, not really doing much, which was kind of my mistake there. But yeah, we're going to get an amazing charge right here. Let's go cinematic mode and watch this. Stannis is just going to smash into the back of these spearmen, pushing them onto my swordsmen. These spearmen are going to get cut down. I have to be careful, because obviously Stannis is in this battle. So if Stannis dies right here, the battle's over for me. My morale will just go, and that'll be it. Also, look how awesome the plains look. They're flooded. So these people are fighting in soaking mud. I imagine the mud's just up to their ankles in it, and they're having to fight a huge battle. There's 8,000 men fighting here. Also, we didn't want to go overboard on the units as well, so that's why, you know, me and Apollo are just kind of, you know, fighting with only, like, you know, smallish armies, I guess. You know, it's still 8,000 men. But still, look how awesome this little engagement is over here as well. We've completely surrounded this unit of Baratheon heavy spearmen, and we are just going to town. Our swordsmen are cutting them down. It just looks so amazing how they form like a circle, and I've completely enveloped them. I'm going to be reinforcing over here because Apollo did actually manage to break some of my infantry, so I'm going to plug that gap with a unit of my swordsmen. So this right flank is going very well for me. If we look at it, you know, you can see that I am winning. I've surrounded a lot of his Baratheon troops, and it's just kind of a matter of time for me to cut them down. On this right flank as well, you know, the balance of power is looking pretty decent for me. If we look at the KDA, I've actually got, you know, a decent amount of men, more than Apollo. However, Apollo has a lot more horses than me, which is allowing him to hammer and anvil, cause these kind of hit and run tactics. On this right flank, again, I am doing pretty decently, but I'm kind of running out of men. This kind of pocket right here has 2 fresh units of infantry. However, if we go down the line, you can see how few my Dragonstone infantry there are left. Especially with the horses here as well, it's causing me, you know, huge amounts of grief. Apollo has his heavy spears who are going to hold against this unit and pretty much just tie up this unit of infantry for the rest of the fight. So as I said, it's looking good for Stannis, but this battle could still go either way. I have the advantage in numbers and infantry right now, but Apollo definitely has the advantage in heavy cavalry, which again you can see Renly just hammer and anvil striking my infantry, sending these guys down to the floor and then running away. I think even, yeah, it's pretty much just crushing out this entire unit. This unit has been devastated by Apollo's hammer and anvil strikes, and then again getting in the rear of my infantry. So this could cause a mass rout. This could completely change the face of the battle right now. And we'll get another nice little shot here. I love the look of the Baratheons. I think they look amazing. I guess they're both Baratheons, but, you know, Stannis is more like Dragonstone infantry, whereas Renly's like Baratheon infantry. So that's kind of how I'll define both of them. But yeah, I love the Renly Baratheon troops. They look sick. It'd be amazing, like if we get some like crown units, like a faction like the Kingsguard. Oh, that's something I should have asked them in the Q&A for sure. I should have asked them about like the Kingsguard, because that would look amazing. Maybe they could be like addition to like the Town Watch. Like you could maybe have like a King's Landing force where you have like the Town Watch and like the Kingsguard and shit like that, because that'd be amazing. That's something I will ask the developers for you guys, so make sure to keep an ear out in my next video on Seven Kingdoms, and I'll kind of answer that question for you guys if you're interested in that. So let me know in the comments. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, I did a Q&A with the developers where I asked them all sorts of questions about when it's going to get released, the campaign, when we're going to get naval units, if we're going to get Targaryen troops, dragons, stuff like that. The link will be in the description down below, so make sure to check that out and drop a like on that video as well, as it was kind of a special video. You know, it's not every day you get to talk with the mod developers, so I would really appreciate it if you could do that. That'd be awesome. And again, just watching these troops just going toe to toe. The spear infantry have been properly pushed in now. There's like no space left for them, and I think they're just going to rout there, and I'm going to finish up by cutting off the rest of their retreat. Over on this right flank as well, we've also enveloped the remainder of the Baratheon heavy infantry. So this right flank has looked awesome for me. If we zoom out and press K so you guys can kind of see the full strength of everyone, victory is coming close on this right flank, and I'm just using this to push everyone I have onto this left flank. So this left flank is not looking good for me. My infantry is starting to dwindle. The constant hammer and anvil strikes from Renly Baratheon is causing me so much grief. It is really hard pressed to kind of hold that flank. I'm just hoping to God that this infantry can hold on and keep strong, fighting for the one true king. I really, really hope. But I am pouring in the rest of my infantry. These guys are exhausted. Apart from this one unit I used a general ability on to kind of make them fresh. But the rest of my infantry is exhausted. I also left one unit back here, one depleted unit of Dragonstone infantry to fight a fairly half strength unit of Apollo's infantry. So I'm trying to use this just to kind of, you know, tie them up as like a rear guard, so I can send the majority of my army into the center of the fight. And we're going to be reforming up and then getting ready to push on. into this final part of the battle. But still, it could go literally either way. Like, we're both going to be having to use our general as effectively as possible, for sure. Like, there's no question about that. Whoever kind of uses their general here, and whoever's general survives, is going to be like a true testament to victory here. Again, this left flank has actually looked pretty good for me. I think I finally managed to rout some of his infantry. And there we go. Renly Baratheon has been slain, or he's been wounded. I like to say he's been wounded. I wouldn't like to say he was killed in battle. I like to think, you know, he's wearing so much heavy armor that the majority of the weapons these guys are wielding, he wouldn't die, and they probably wouldn't kill him as well. I mean, in real life, Renly wouldn't be fighting, you know, with his men. He'd be sitting in a commanding seat. Renly's not a warrior, whereas Stannis would be fighting with his men for sure. And I think Stannis actually slew him as well. Yeah, it's actually something I missed out on. Stannis is actually, I think, charged into the rear of Renly and managed to defeat him. Oh no, the dude got smashed off his horse for floating horse glitch. Yeah, so Stannis actually defeated his brother. I like to think he captured him and put him in prison. But yeah, that's going to kind of seal the battle for Stannis. Defeating Renly and kind of wiping him out. Yeah, it's going to kind of look very good for Stannis. However, there we go. Stannis was also wounded in this battle. He was smashed down. The surrounding forces, I mean, it was kind of unlucky for Stannis to get wounded because there's still a decent amount of men. There was a good, like, at least half the unit left for Stannis when he got struck down. So, you know, it was kind of a shame. So his battle, again, could still go either way now the generals are dead. However, the fact that my heavy infantry is turning up, and, you know, quite a few of them are still fresh as well because I use my general ability on these guys. They're going to be surrounding the remainder of the dragons, of the Baratheon troops, and kind of just cutting them out. So, you know, you can probably tell by this point that Stannis has claimed victory here. But at what cost? Stannis is not going to be able to march on King's Landing with the troops he's lost today in this huge battle. He may have cemented his place in the Stormlands. However, he's definitely not cemented his place as King of the Iron Throne. You know, he's lost many, many a man here. And a lot of the horses, a lot of the houses which supported Stannis after Renly was killed, you know, have lost several men here. You know, they're not going to be able to field a large army. Maybe he can find support in the Reach, and, you know, maybe he can get the Reach to support him and march on and defeat the Lannisters. Maybe the Reach, instead of supporting the Lannisters, will support, you know, maybe they'll support Stannis instead. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below. If you want to see Stannis and the Reach fighting together, you know, kind of as like a follow-up battle to this, let me know in the comments. You know, like, make sure to just tell me and I will do it. I'll get Apollo and we can fight. He'll play as the Reach and I'll play as Stannis or something like that, and we can have, you know, create our own story against the Lannisters and maybe someone else, maybe with the Lannisters and, you know, the Freys or something like that, and we'll fight like a huge survival battle or something. So yeah, please let me know in the comments. I'll also put a comment in the video as well, so you guys could, like, kind of just not like anything spoilery, just kind of like, you know, if you heard the question I asked towards the end of the battle, please let me know what your guys' thoughts are. So yeah, there we go. The last remaining force of Apollo has been defeated. Stannis Baratheon was victorious. However, he did get wounded along with his brother Renly. His brother Renly is now at Stannis' mercy. So maybe what can happen is you can have a Stannis, Renly, and Reach force defending against a huge, like, 15,000 Lannister army or something. Like, I think that'd be fucking sick. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, because I think that'd be absolutely amazing. And there we go, Pyrrhic victory for Stannis Baratheon. Oh, I'm so pumped for that idea. I really hope you guys want to see it. We can have Stannis, you know, Renly has kind of been like, I lost the battle, I'm so sorry, Stannis. And Stannis is like, cool, it's whatever, I need your support. Like, I need you to get the Reach on side, because obviously him and Marjorie are married. So he's like, Renly, like, I won't burn you at the stake if you know, get the Reach to support me with your men. And maybe he can march on with, like, you know, a whole Reach army Maybe I can command Stannis, Apollo can command Renly, and then we get someone like Alex Arambler to command the Reach, and we can fight like a huge Lannister army with the support of a phrase or something. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments down below. I feel that'd be like a sick idea. And if we look at the kills quickly, I have racked up, Stannis himself killed 286, which is nothing to be, to be scared of. That's like pretty sick right there. Dragonstone infantry going in, some of them getting 200 kills, 267 kills. This is the creme de la creme of Dragonstone. Their heavy infantry were really good. Obviously, the upgrades really helped. But again, Apollo had a lot more infantry than me, so it kind of, played out that way. If we look at Apollo, his cavalry really doing work. This was kind of the masterpiece of Apollo. And again, look at his longbows as well. Absolutely shredding so many people. Absolutely brutal. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Clash of the Stags, this Baratheon civil war. Make sure to drop a like and a comment if you did enjoy it. It really, really does help out the channel. That's why I keep on mentioning it. Sorry if I kind of bore you guys by asking constantly, but you guys don't understand how much it does help out the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Let me know about my idea, and fish out.